Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Dabbin Daniel, and this is another episode of the Dabbin Daniel Podcast. I have here once again, Mr. CEO, Mr. Entrepreneur, Tyler Robinson, aka Kidd Klutch Productions. Introduce yourself, young brother.
What's up, my man, Dabbin Day? You up to?
I'm good, man. I'm good. So today we're gonna talk about one thing, and that's entrepreneurship, businessmen, and everything else. So, yeah, a lot of people say, go get a job. I say, I am the job.
That's right.
That's right. We entrepreneurs out here. We CEOs out here. So the first segment we're going to talk about is the creation of black businesses. So how does black businesses start up? What are your thoughts on that, young brother?
First of all, your black businesses start off with an idea coming from the black brain, because you know it's nothing like the black person. The black person is the strongest creature on the earth.
That's right. That's right.
So I think when you coming up with a black business, you have to have a ideal plan. You have to have funding, and that's where black people usually struggle with, is the funding. But you have to have that idea. You have to have that plan. You have to have that market. You want to know who you're marketing to. Are you marketing to women, children, men, or others? So once you find your target market, that's like your demographic, you got to go and you need to find where your demographic, what price ranges works for them.
That's right. That's right. You know, I agree with you on that, my brother, because a lot of times when people start businesses, they have an idea, but it just doesn't come into fruition. So you need to come up with what I like to call a business plan. You write out what you're going to do, your target audience, your budget, the cost of the business, what is the business for, all those things. So that way you know what you are doing when you're initiating the business. Like, that's like you starting a music company, you don't know who your target audience is. Well, it's a rap company, so but you don't know which rap you gonna do. Are you gonna do for young people or for old people? It depends on the targeting. You target your audience. You know who your audience is. So that's the first segment that we talked about, the creation of the black businesses. It comes from the mind and it comes from you planning it out. Do you agree with that, my brother?
I agree with it.
That's right. That's right. So the next, so we're gonna talk about as I said before, like the creation, the full-blown creation of the black business, how we are innovators, how we are inventors, how we are simply entrepreneurs. What do you think the word entrepreneur means, my brother?
To me, entrepreneur is another word for creator or innovator. It's like what it says in the Bible: if you sow a good seed, that seed will get stronger. And I believe that with the black business, if you grow your business on the right foundation, your business is likely to be successful. The thing with people, I think, when they're starting a business, they think it's just going to drastically come up and they're going to become this millionaire. It's not like that. It's going to be times you struggle. It's going to be times where you're playing multiple roles within your business. You may be the promoter, you may be the CEO, you may be the manager, you may be the CFO or even the accountant, because it's a small business. When you start a small business out small, you basically figuring out a way to fuck up on shit. The first few months of the creation of your business is going to be fuck ups. So I think after that 6-month period, you should already kind of grasp where your business is going to go within the next 3 years. And after that 3rd year, if it doesn't take off, more than likely it won't survive.
Because I agree with you on that, because I feel that that's why some black businesses fail within 3 to 5 years, because they don't launch, they don't take off. Because it goes back to what I said before, the targeting. Who is your audience? Who are you marketing your business to? Are you marketing for young people, old people, millennials? Who is it? Is it black people, white people? Who is it? That's where you gotta know your target audience. And sometimes it may not be the audience members that is wrong, what's wrong. It might be the support for your black business, which this is the next section we're gonna talk about. All right, so before we get into that section about the support, let's talk about how we feel about the more of the creative process. So what are your thoughts on the more into the creative process? Do you want to do a general partnership with entrepreneurship, or do you want to do a corporation? What type of business do you want to go into?
I think it's all depending on what business that you go into. If you expect your business to become big, I think you want to do a corporation. But if you want to keep it under your control in a way where you have the unlimited power to control it, I think you want to do an LLC, because the LLC, your company, that means it's a limited liability company. That means that your company is not liable for what happened. You are not liable, but your company can be liable. So it protects you in a lot of ways. And it protects, if you have a partner, it protects them from that. But I think when you're creating a business, you have to have that business mindset. You want to know what's coming out of your business, what's going in it. You don't want to just make revenue. You want to flip a profit at some point.
Mm-hmm.
When you flip your profit, that's how you know your business is succeeding. And I think when you creating a business, generally people create them with working a job, a 9 to 5. That's great and all, but you don't want to become dependent on that income. You need to find other capital somewhere. And I think with black businesses, loans, that's where people, they want to go to banks and stuff, but they get denied a lot of times. But you have to figure out every avenue to where you want to create your product and create your business. You don't want to go in there with $0 and you try to do this and that. You have to know where you want to, what's coming in and what's going out, and what you want to do, which build your foundation on. That's what it is.
Yeah, I most definitely agree with you, man. I most definitely, because I feel like a lot of times when you start up a black business and everything, people they don't go into research as to different business avenues. Like there's LLCs, which are limited liability corporations. There's general partnerships where you can just start a business with a partner, but the problem goes into liability, because if your partner does something foolish or stupid, then you're liable with them. You get sued along with them. That's the most important. That's an important piece that people forget when it deals with general partnerships. They just partner with anybody, man. You my homie, we cool and stuff like that. But then when something goes down, they don't really talk about it.
In a general partnership, it really doesn't protect your personal assets from what's going on. That's what a lot of people don't know either.
Yeah.
You and your partner, it's like you're in a marriage.
Yeah.
You're both liable. Whatever debt is going on, their debt is your debt and your debt is their debt. So when anything happens, you at risk of losing anything that you have. And one more thing I want to add to that is too, when you are starting a business, make sure that business will become profitable.
That's right.
You just start a business and the market doesn't bear that business succeeding a long time. And that's all I have for that segment.
Yep. So the next segment we are going to get into, as I said before, is the support for the black business. Because in order for a business to succeed, it needs to have the support of the people that it's trying to market to. And a lot of times with black businesses, one of the reasons why some of them fail is because they don't have the support of the people they're marketing to. Like whether it's young people or old people. Like with some black people, they want to market towards outside sources. They want to go towards outside sources instead of supporting their own. So what are your thoughts on that, my brother?
I think there are a multitude of ways that we can put this. Number one, I think a lot of black people support black businesses because they don't support black businesses is because jealousy, They're scared that this black person may get ahead, and they don't want to see that. And I feel if one gets ahead, we all can get ahead, because this one can. If this person's success is predicated on you, and your success can be predicated on them doing well. Because I see in a lot of black people, I see other races, they empower their own family members, friends, all this, and they can trust their own. But I feel in the black community, we can't really do that, and we're not really given an opportunity, because if we fuck up one time, that can jeopardize a lot of stuff. And sometimes we can't fuck up as much as the other communities, because they have access to this generational wealth. We don't really have that in a way. We have a lot of rich black people. We don't have a lot of wealthy, and that's the difference. Wealth and rich. And I think where black people, they need to, number two with that, they need to support their own, because I think more black people, they're more likely to go out and buy from another race because they want what they can't have. It's like Tommy Hilfiger, Dolce & Gabbana, you got your Louis Vuittons and stuff. I feel it's a psychological issue. I feel that, okay, if I'm wearing this makes me better than this person. That's what a lot of black people feel, but that's not really the case. It's whatever if you're fashionable, whatever you put on makes the product, not the product that makes you. And I think it's an insecurity that a lot of black people have. And I think it's like if they see a car outside and they see a Nissan, they see a Mercedes Benz, they see a BMW, maybe this Maserati, rather than getting something that they can afford, they will go and get the most expensive car because they can't have it. So it makes them fit in a certain social class, but generally, no, it doesn't. It makes you look bad, because I've seen a lot of black people go into banks. When I was at this seminar, this guy told me that black people, when they go to banks, a lot of times they're denying loans. It's racism too, but they're denied loans because black people, they don't know where their priorities are at. Their priorities lie. You see black people, they'll go and get a loan for a car, they'll go and get a loan for business, and they have $100,000 car. No. Then they have clothes and all kind of stuff that they can't afford. But when it comes down to their house, they don't want to give them the house loan, because they say if you had the opportunity to choose between your house or your car, most black people would choose their car. That's what they're saying. They say your car is going to depreciate once you get it off the lot, but your house, that's where your generational wealth comes from. And if you're not going to take care of that, how are you going to grow an asset? Because you could be cash rich, you can be asset rich. Where you become asset rich is through your house, through your business, through your other things like your, let's say Daniel has a book that's a part of his business. He can build that up because that's a brand name, so that's an asset. But your cash, you have that, but you can't put nothing towards that. You can't build your credit with that. And I think where a lot of black people, they're being targeted by these credit card companies to get them in debt at an early age. And that's where you build your credit up, you have to spend it smart, because I feel it's different things that you have to do to keep that wealth and build that wealth. It's like this, it's good debt and bad debt. People always say it's debt, but no, it's good debt and you have bad debt. Good debt, for example, is, okay, I spend all this money on my business for products that's needed for my business. That's good debt. Or I'm going in debt, get one in a hole for my business, say I got to get a loan for my business. That's good debt. But bad debt is, okay, I had money for this, I go out and borrow money from this to get new pair of shoes, new car. If that car can be an asset in a way, if you're using it to get back and forth to your business or to your clientele. but it can be a detriment because it depreciates. Rather than you buying this brand new car, why not buy a used car that's already paid for, pay cash for it?
No, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, and that's good debt right there, because there's no debt with that. But your bad debt is when you're spending money that you don't have for stuff you really don't need. It's a want. But stuff that's needed for your business, you won't spend the money on.
Yeah.
And I think with Black people, what we have to do, we need to invest in ourselves more. Our companies, we need to build that wealth in our communities. Why go out to the next community and give them more our money and they're not going to respect us?
Yeah.
And I feel in our company, I feel with Black people too, we don't want to support other Blacks, because I feel you support them and they do something stupid to mess up your support. They don't deliver your product in time. They don't want to treat you with respect that you need. They don't value your loyalty. And that's where I think we mess up too. We have to be loyal to our race first before we can go out to somewhere else, because the other races, they won't trust you. They say, hey, you treat your own like this, how you gonna treat us?
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. And also, when it comes to support the Black business, the rules of economics apply to the support of businesses like that as well. And rules of economics is the community is supposed to bounce around the money in the community like 2 or 3 times, then go out to other races. But with our people, with Black people, it's immediately when we get that check, we go to other races and we go to other races and spend the economy, and then we go back to Black people. It's supposed to be the opposite. So I feel that there is a need. We must support Black businesses. The rules of economics say so, and also it makes our businesses grow and thrive. A lot of times when Black businesses fail, it's often because of the support of the Black people, of the Black business. It's not enough support. People are like, oh, that's too high. Oh, this is high. I can't afford it. Oh, that's grocery money. They come with a bunch of excuses, but to not support the Black business.
If they were spending on another business,
yes,
outside of the race, I feel if you put more value on your race, the other races won't mean as much. Their approval, it'll mean more to you. And I feel you need to support your race first.
Yeah.
Put Black people first, because the thing why Black people are being disrespected, because Black people really have nothing in their communities now. If you go to Black communities now, most of these businesses in the Black community, they're not owned by Black people.
Yeah.
You probably find Black people only have 1% of the wealth in the world. You know why that is? Because we're not supporting our own. We're not putting money in our own communities. We're not starting our own stuff. If you own your own shit, you ain't got to worry about what the other person is doing across the street, or how they doing this and that.
But I feel like also a lot of times when it comes to support that business, people don't want to support because they're scared, because it's outside their comfort zone. Some Black people are used to, they tell us our entire lives, our parents, teachers, whoever, to go get a job and, get that security, get that, 401k, but they don't want to support other businesses and everything because they have a mentality. That's why I call corporations in corporate America the corporate plantation, because it really is a plantation. The people above you, they own you. Your boss, whoever, they own you.
Yes.
You are their slave. Yes. You are their servant. But if you own your own business, you don't have to worry about that. But in order for the business to thrive and be successful and be, number one, you have to have the support of the community. I feel like a lot of times people don't want to support because it goes outside their comfort zone.
Yep. And I agree with you on this. You always hearing people say, well, get a job, go to college, do this and that. But I think the greatest Black insecurity is job security. That job security, it keeps you comfortable, it keeps you here. So when you want to step out and do your dreams, you can't do it because guess what? You invested so much in that job. That that job is your whole life. You spend most of your hours working on that job, more than you are with your dealing with your personal life and building your business. And I feel like if you own nothing, you control nothing. That's why Black people in this economy are suffering the most, because we control nothing. You got 1% of the wealth. That 1% can't go that far. You have to build it. You have to grow. The last time Black people had 1% of the wealth was during slavery, and that's crazy.
Yeah, man, that's out of control.
When slavery ended, and I think if you look at the 50s and 60s, Black people, they own more stuff, so they was able to control stuff more. They was able to invest in their kids, invest in their grandchildren, invest in their families, their communities, and build them up. But if you don't, Black people, if you do not invest in yourself, you will not ever get anywhere. You will work the rest of your life. You will die before retirement. You will never see another life, because Black people are under attack. And the Black business is the key. Supporting the Black business is the key to getting out of that situation and improving your lifestyle, improving this economy, the Black economy, to be specific. And I think with the Black business, it's like this. You don't know what you don't know. And that's the greatest experience you need at this point. Because guess what? Why put yourself in college, go to college all these years and put yourself in debt for something that you're never going to be able to get out of? It's a trap.
Yeah, I most definitely agree with you on that.
You need to make something profitable. You need to don't ask what people can do for you. Ask what you can do for your community. That's what you need to do.
I like that statement right there, my brother. I like that statement right there. So the next segment we're going to talk about, my brother, is the revenue, the capital, the money that comes into the Black business. So talk to me about that process, my brother, of getting capital, of generating revenue for your Black business, my brother.
Well, you can generate your capital through investments. You can generate your capital through, basically, if you own a house, your family owns a house, they may have to mortgage your house. I'm sorry to say that, but that's maybe the only way, because think about this. You may not be able to get a loan from the bank because you have bad credit. You may not be able to get a loan from corporate America because you may not have access to, I'm blessed to have access to those things, but a lot of people don't have that. So what you need to do is you may have to you got to bet on yourself. It's going to be hard at times when you start in a business. People think that you're going to, that it's just going to happen like this. It's not going to happen. It's going to be times you struggle with this. It's going to be times that it's dark days with that business. But guess what? If you keep that hope and you learn from those mistakes that you make, your business will improve. You can only get better. And you can't start the business being scared. You can't start the business working at 9 to 5, because guess what? If you have that 9 to 5 job mentality, you're never gonna be able to be successful. And I say like this too: if you start a business and you have responsibilities, kids, wife, and this and that, you shouldn't have think about this. You should not enter a business or a relationship without a steady foundation. If that partner you see doesn't support your dreams, you should be with that partner, because you'll never be successful with that partner. Just like that, just like having that wife or girlfriend or husband or boyfriend. If they don't support your dreams, it's never going to be successful. You have to be on one accord with that business. Your foundation, that's your key. Your ideas, that's your key. Your money comes from you. If you have that hustler's mentality, you'll find that money. It's just like if your kid has to eat, you'll find that money for that kid to eat. You will. And I feel when you have that job, you have a job that job security, it makes you irresponsible. Because guess what? You have money. They give you this money for the job. Okay, I know this money coming in, so I can go ahead and spend this and blow it out. I can do this and that. But that's not the attitude you have to have in entrepreneurship. You have to have a budgeting attitude. You have to have that investment attitude. Whatever money that you have coming in, you reinvest it in that business.
That's right. That's
what you need to do. And just like if you go out there, I always say you work for your last name, not your first name.
Mm-hmm.
If you know you gotta go out and you be the breadwinner and make sure your family eats, you're gonna go out there and you're gonna hustle like you never hustled before. You're gonna hustle like it's the last thing in your mind, the last thing, like it's your last minute on earth.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you gotta do. First thing on your mind and your last minute on earth. And what you need to do when you're hustling, number one, you hustle, you have to have a good pitch. You have to be your own best promoter. Number two, you have to be your own best cheerleader. Number three, you have to be your own best partner. Because you're in partnership with your business, believe it or not. Your business is tied to you. If your business fails, you fail. And if you fail, your business fails.
Mm-hmm.
Your mindset with that, you have to get your family involved at times to go out there and help you sell it. You may have to get your kids. If they know if they have that hustler's mentality with you, your business will be successful.
Mm-hmm.
Because they know this is the way we gotta eat. That's the only way. But if you have that check coming in, okay, you be carefree because that's coming in is security.
Yeah.
But when you have to make it yourself, it's no feeling like that, because you know how hard you had to work for that business. You know how hard your family had to work for that. You know the sacrifices you had to give up for that. And I think every great entrepreneur had to give up something. They had to sacrifice to be where they were. And they had to take risks.
Yes.
If you're scared of taking risks, this is not the business for you. You need to get the hell out and you go get a job. And it's the people you surround yourself with too. If you surround yourself with people that don't want to do a damn thing, your business is not going to be successful. You're going to reflect that, and they're going to reflect that. You are who you keep around you. The company that you keep around you, that's what you are. It's contagious. If you hang around them long enough, you will start to act like them.
Mm-hmm.
You will start to see yourself in them. They'll start to see yourself in you. If you got a bunch of negativity in you, that's what people want to see in your business. Negativity. They're going to see that in you, negativity. But if you have positivity and love, that's what's going to come out. If you have success around you, that's what's going to come out. If you are the most successful person in your group of friends, I think you need to find another group of friends. That's not good.
I definitely agree with you on that, because a lot of people, they basically, like, when it comes to like revenue and capital and everything else, they don't know how to generate it. And so you generate it by basically you having some income and everything else. A lot of people, they just want to be like, 9 to 5, 9 to 5, 9 to 5, 9 to 5. But if you have that 9 to 5 mentality, as you stated earlier, you're not going to want to be successful in entrepreneurship, because entrepreneurship is all about taking risk. It's all about being, risk taker and throwing caution to the wind. You have to want to have this business be successful. There is no other way. Sometimes you may have to take a mortgage out. Sometimes you may have to go to the bank. But I wouldn't recommend going to the bank, because sometimes you may not get a loan from them. So what are you going to do? Sometimes you might have to partner with somebody to get your business up and going and running. But you have to want to make the business be successful. It's also, like you said, about how you watch who you surround yourself with. If you surround yourself with poor people, you're going to act poor. If you surround yourself with rich people and entrepreneurs and innovators, you're going to become an innovator. It's all about who you surround yourself with, because the people you surround yourself with are the people who are most likely going to help you run your business. And if that happens, if it's a poor person or a person who's low down or a person who has negativity on them, your business is going to fail. It's going to suck, because they have negativity, negative mindsets, and everything else. you are what you attract.
And that's another thing I want to piggyback on, Daniel, is this. You said poor people. You're right. I feel the difference between poor people and broke people are poor people, that's a circumstance that they're in temporarily and they can't help it. The broke people. But poor people, that's a mindset. You're entrenched in poverty. That's where you want to be. That's where you want to stay. That's generations from now. That's poor people. That's a mindset. But when you're broke, that's temporarily. You can't help that. But you can change the outcome and have a wealthy mindset. When you get that wealthy mindset, you will get to where you need to be because you're looking forward. You're not looking back. And I feel with poverty-stricken people, they're ignorant. They don't want to do any better. They don't know any better. They don't want to do any better. But a person that's broke and they have that wealth mindset, they're going to want to do better. They're going to want to help their family. They're going to want a new life because they don't like the current circumstance that they're in.
I agree with you on that. So we're going to close it out. But before we close it out, any other closing statements you want to bring? Because I know we talked about the creation of entrepreneurship business, the support of the Black business, and the revenue. So is there anything else you want to talk about, or you want to close out, or you want last remarks on this podcast, on this episode, my brother?
I think too, when you starting a business, you have to when you're saying revenue, you have to make sure you know what money is coming in and what's coming out with that revenue. So if you spend that money coming out needs to be going towards that business, expenses towards that, so it can go on your tax returns and you get that money back. And that profit, that's your money that you're taking home with you to make your business better. That's to make you better too. Your profit shares, that's the numbers you need to look for within that third year. If you're not making profit on that in the third year, you need to get a consultant to help you with that because you don't know what the hell you're doing. Because there's something missing with that. You need to give your time to your business. You need to put your money to your business. And you need to work hard with that business. Thing is, I think people, they trade off their time for money. That's what happens when you go work at a job. You're spending all your time at that job for a big paycheck, but you're not going to be able to enjoy that paycheck. Versus when you own your own business, you're putting that time in, but if you get enough resources to help you around that, you begin to work smarter, not harder. And I think that's the key too. Some people, they overwork themselves and they're never able to enjoy their business. You need to take time off too. But make sure when you get a business and when it gets to the level where you need it to be, make sure you have people that you can trust to help you run that business. Because if you have a person that's shady and they steal and stuff, that's not the type of person you need around you. Because it can give your business a bad name and your business, your books may be off when it comes time to do your taxes. To do your money, and you don't want issues with the IRS. That's something you got to think about, really.
Well, we're going to close out this podcast. Thank you, Tyler, once again for joining the Dabbin Daniel podcast. I'm Dabbin Daniel. This is my guest, Tyler, a.k.a. Kidd Klutch, and we out. As always, check out the podcast. And we out,